Thank you, Madam Chair. When Colin invited me, he addressed me as a faith leader, and I apologize to him. I am not here in that capacity. I don't think I even want to be called religious. Forgive me for saying that. I feel as I live, and it is not 25 years, I have crossed 30. But I feel as I evolve, and understand who I am, I want to disconnect from some of these handles. So feel free to call me Elvis. You mentioned in the initial or the first introduction that I would briefly touch on institutions that could impede dignity. And the first is the education system. Last month, I wrote an article which was published in the Express newspaper, and a number of teachers became extremely angry with me because in that article I suggested that what is urgently needed in the education system is teacher preparation. You see, I suggested that there should be sustained dialogue in this system, where the three most important questions any human could ask should be addressed. Who am I? Why am I here? And how should I live? Understanding who we are, creating purpose, and then creating a community, a true community for all. So that is the first institution. And then there is the judicial system. Yes, I agree with you. I want to quote something that was said at the opening of the 2017-2018 law term. I quote, "Collectively, we can and must do better instead of surrendering to analysis paralysis in pursuit of perfection. The inherent randomness of the material universe means that in practice, we live in a world that is tolerant to margins of error. It is better to get something done 85% right than to strive for the extra 15%. End of quote. Now, my concern is, should the nature of the universe, in terms of its inherent randomness, be used to justify or explain margins of error, especially in a system that has been intelligently designed by humans? And what measurement standard did the presenter use to claim 85% success? This is especially so when, as that statement was being made, research was being done by the Judicial Education Institute, which is part of the judiciary, research which has said, and I quote now, "Court users feel alienated and unwelcomed because of the lack of voice, neutrality, trustworthy authorities, respectful treatment, availability of amenities, and access to relevant information. The court system of the judiciary of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago are usually experienced as impersonal and disconnected from users of the court systems and the public, and uncaring and unconcerned about their legitimate needs and welfare in relation to court matters. There is great public desire for both accountability and transparency in relation to the actions and inaction of judicial officers and court staff. I think some of you have those books which you have been reading. Finally, the religious institutions. A few days ago, in a CNC3 documentary, leaders of some of the churches were expressing concern about the exodus of members. One leader indicated that people should know what they believe. Is it that we should know what we believe or believe what we know? So we have to address that. We have to address the whole issue of indoctrination. Is it relevant for the 21st century? Another leader said, the church is full of hypocrites. But what about the hypocrisy of the institution itself? The Roman Catholic Church, because of its pronouncements on the use of condom, has played a major role in the number of people who suffer from HIV/AIDS. The Roman Catholic Church, because it denies choice and it fights pro-choice, takes away people's freedom when it comes to things like abortion. And at best, the Roman Catholic Church and other churches, including my own, at best, we merely tolerate LGBTQIA people in our community. I conclude with this. And for me, this is an extremely important statement. If our churches are to become meaning systems, and this is how I feel a church should be defined, as a meaning system. If our churches are to become meaning systems, we should approach life not with a narrow theology, but have theology influenced by human reality and scientific advances that include cosmology, psychology, neuroscience, archaeology, history, and a scholarly approach to all our scriptures. Thank you.